If you're a high earner, you know the feeling. A huge chunk of your income can just vanish into taxes, especially when you're trying to save for retirement. But what if you could legally shield a significant portion of that wealth? Today, we're going to break down the essential tax saving strategies for high earners in the US, Australia, and the UK. This is all about working smarter, not just harder, to really lock in your financial future.
To really see the power of this stuff, let's follow two people. First, meet Sarah. She's our strategic planner. She's sought out smart advice from day one. And then there's Mark. He's our procrastinator. He figured, he'd get around to sorting out his retirement eventually. They're both starting from the exact same high income point, but their journeys are going to show you just how critical having the right plan really is.
All right, first stop, the US solution. We're going to follow our planner, Sarah. She's earning a fantastic income, but she's also smart enough to know that a bigger paycheck usually means a way bigger tax bill. So her challenge, finding a way to build a serious retirement nest egg without Uncle Sam taking a massive slice right off the top. And here was Sarah's first big hurdle, the Roth IRA, right? It's amazing, tax-free withdrawals in retirement, it sounds perfect. But there's a catch. The IRS puts income limits on who can contribute directly. For a ton of high earners like Sarah, it feels like the front door to the Roth IRA is just slammed shut. It's a super common frustration. But as Sarah found out, there's another way in. And this is the game changer Sarah discovered, the Backdoor Roth IRA. Now, this isn't some secret account you'll find on a government form. It's a strategy, a completely legal and brilliant workaround that lets high earners sneak past those income limits and unlock the incredible power of tax-free growth. So how does this backdoor actually work? It's surprisingly simple. First, Sarah puts money into a traditional IRA. The key here is that she doesn't take a tax deduction for it. Then, almost right away, she converts that traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. And since she already paid tax on the money she put in, the conversion itself is usually tax-free. And just like that, boom, the money is now in a Roth account, ready to grow and be withdrawn completely tax-free when she retires. Okay, let's hop across the pond to Australia and check in on our procrastinator, Mark. He was also a high earner, but he saw his retirement account, known as superannuation, as just another annoying deduction from his paycheck. He was missing a massive opportunity to build wealth. So in Australia, superannuation, or just super, is the absolute foundation of retirement. Your employer has to contribute a slice of your salary. This money then grows in a really low tax environment. We're talking typically just 15%. And then when you retire, it comes out completely tax-free. It's an incredibly powerful system, but only if you actually use it to its full potential. And this is exactly where Mark dropped the ball. He just let the bare minimum from his employer trickle in. He completely ignored salary sacrificing, which would have let him put pre-tax dollars into his super, lowering his income tax right now. He also missed the chance to add his own after-tax money, which would have then grown in that super tax-friendly environment. He was literally leaving free money and huge tax savings on the table year after year. Now, here's a really important point for Aussie high earners. Don't get spooked by the Division 293 tax. Yeah, it adds an extra 15% tax on your contributions if you earn over a certain amount. But just do the math for a second. A 30% tax rate is still so much better than paying your top income tax rate, which can be as high as 45%. Think of it this way. It's not a penalty. It's just a slightly smaller discount. And that's still a fantastic deal. All right, let's head over to the UK. Procrastinators like Mark have their own set of incredible overlooked opportunities there, especially when it comes to the perks baked right into the UK pension system. The absolute crown jewel of the UK pension system is called tax relief. Honestly, it's basically a massive top-up from the government on your savings. When you put money into your pension, the government literally adds back the income tax you already paid on it. It's a direct, powerful incentive to save for your own future. This number right here, this shows the magic of that relief. If you're a 40% taxpayer, for every £100 that lands in your pension account, it only actually costs you £60 out of your own pocket. The government just covers the other 40. That's an immediate 66% return on your money before it's even had a chance to be invested. It is just mind-blowing that people let this slip by. Of course, you've got to play by the rules. There's an annual allowance, which caps how much you can put in each year. And for the really high earners, that allowance can get tapered or shrunk down quite a bit. Knowing these limits is key to maximizing your savings without getting hit with penalties. And the really big news lately, the old lifetime allowance has been abolished, which removes the ceiling on how much you can build up in total. That makes pensions an even more powerful tool for building serious wealth. So let's fast forward a few decades. Sarah's retirement? It's comfortable, it's flexible. Her 401k is a solid base, but it's her tax-free Roth IRA that gives her real peace of mind. Meanwhile, Mark, and procrastinators just like him, are living a very different reality. Sure, their mandatory pensions provide something, but they're constantly stressed, doing the math on how much tax they owe on withdrawals, and just kicking themselves over all those years of lost growth and missed tax breaks. So what was it that separated Sarah's success from Mark's regret? It wasn't some complicated secret formula. It really just boils down to two universal principles that work no matter where you live. First, compounding. By starting early and just being consistent, Sarah gave her money the one thing it needed most: time. Time to grow, earn returns, and then earn returns on those returns. And second, tax efficiency. She got that $1, a pound, or euro saved from taxes is just as valuable as one you earn in the market. It's money that gets to work for you, not for the government. And this chart says it all, doesn't it? Just look at that difference. The early, smaller contributions, all thanks to decades of compounding, end up creating a way bigger nest egg than the much larger contributions made later in life. This is the one force in finance you just cannot afford to ignore. Time is your single greatest asset. This slide shows the other half of the equation perfectly. On the left, that's what happens when your investment growth gets taxed all along the way or when you take it out. A big slice goes to the government. But on the right, in a tax-efficient account like a Roth IRA or a super fund, almost all of that growth is yours to keep. The difference over a lifetime is absolutely staggering. So what's your action plan? Simple. If you're in the US, you need to learn about the Backdoor Roth IRA. If you're in Australia, max out those salary sacrifice contributions. And in the UK, make sure you're claiming every single penny of tax relief you're entitled to. And for everybody, everywhere, the biggest mistake is waiting. Start today and don't be afraid to get some professional advice from someone who really understands these rules. Ultimately, it all comes down to this. Your retirement is going to have two different price tags. There's the one you plan for, which costs discipline and strategy, and then there's the one you pay for by not planning, which costs stress, regret, and a whole lot of lost opportunity. The choice is yours. Which one will you choose?